the Caribbean. And it's all because of stinking oppression. Repressive education for a chosen few. So many brothers on the corner, cause no school to go, no work to do. Crying sin kids, the crying Nevis, in Antigua, in Dominica, oppressors, leave we alone. Oppressors, come off the bone.
You're alive, you're alive.
Colonialism went, oh that I know. But oppression never ever let we go. They granted independence few by few, but oppressors never ever left them to. With his imperialistic game plan, he monopolized the land. Now the people of the Caribbean ain't got much food, ain't got much land. The crying Binsha, Erie back in Grenada, in Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, oppressors, leave we alone. Oppressors, come off the bone.
You're alive, you're alive.
The thing that hurt me most about oppression is the involvement of we politicians. You both brother to help fight oppression. Brother get in there and join the bandwagon. You oppose the ruling party, you become an enemy, and you could swear to Jah Almighty. That's your destiny, your destiny. The crying NASA in Bermuda, in Aruba, Martinique, St. Lucia. Oppressors, leave we alone. Oppressors, come off the bone. Oppressors, leave we alone. Oppressors, come off the bone. Oppressors, leave we alone. Oppressors, come off we bone. Leave we alone. Oppressors, 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 oppressors.
Share the live, share the live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm JefroyMorrishaw coming to you live and direct here from the bunker in the Boogie Down Bronx, New York. What a day today was. Went out there and see my sister Sister Olivia Dickinson there. Little rain earlier this morning, and right now out there the weather seems to be either some rain or sleet coming down out there. It was about 58 degrees earlier, but the temperature is dropping slowly. Yes, this is another Friday afternoon. I decided to come with another special segment this afternoon. A lot of oppression continues there in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, but more so in our sister island of Queen City, Nevis. And the devil is at work. The devil is at work. I received some very disturbing photos from a Kittitian this afternoon, and I really don't understand. We may have difference of political opinions, but why do people go out of their way to malign people and go on social media and post all these nonsense? You know, at this moment, I am very disheartened, very disappointed by one of our talented Kittitian that has done this. And I do not know what they expect to get out of it when they sent it to me. But I'm happy that they sent it to me because I was able to send it across to the individual that they're trying to malign. Our people, it's okay to have a difference of opinion politically. We know people read things differently and understand things differently. Right now, we are at the crossroads in Nevis, something that is straightforward, very straightforward and should be understanding, but people busy trying to change minds about cutting deals and work out things. There's nothing to work out, like we said. I was very impressed with that show last night, Tell Me, with Brother Carlisle Powell, the man Kelvin Daly, and Tulu. And not only informative, but if it was not so serious, when Sister Cleone's husband called in, it would have been a big laugh. Because all these guys was doing, just like I do regularly, is play the clips of things that has been said. They're the one that's saying them. They bring the nonsense into the public. And this thing of trying to malign the NRP and Sister Janice, it doesn't make sense. It's beyond me. What they expect to accomplish. At the end of the day, if a CCM government stay in place in Nevis for another 4 years plus, election was on December 12th, so the clock is ticking. If CCM is to stay there for another 4 years plus, we all know it's a destruction for the island of Nevis and the people of Nevis. I mean, I basically have nothing to lose but feeling sorry for my people of Nevis. Whichever government is in power in Nevis does not change my life. But I am here bringing the information to you, good people online, and trying to sensitize the people. I realize over the last couple of months, the type of people that I'm living amongst, the kind of friends I'm supposed to have are colleagues, because some people just cannot be consistent. Everybody that I believe in and hope that they will do the right thing, you know, all I'm seeing is inconsistency in their speech, in their actions. And I speak directly to my boy there, Brother Sam Kanda and Dwyer Astafan, two lovely gentlemen. I love them to death. And I know they love me too. And they have always done right by me. But for whatever the reason and the purpose that they have a problem with the NRP and Janice Daniel Hodge, they are out there, seems to have a different of opinion in the facts as they are. These two individuals are two individuals who was part of a government. There was a part of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party under Douglas-led administration. So we're going to talk the things them this evening, you know. We have a lot to talk about this evening. But before we continue the conversation, I have to drop another track here because I want to remind us that We have all kind of people, all kind of people in the world, and we just have to understand that we're going to have to live with them and try to do the right thing. Try and cut back on the criminal activities there in our beautiful federation in St. Kitts. As you guys know, there has been some crime that took place there on Tuesday with a young lady. I understand that her life was cut short while working at a school there, the Irish Town Primary School. We got so much of things to deal with. So why people go out of their way to still do our people harm? Why? But I know we got different kind of people. And let me drop this one for you. The Baron. All kind of people.
Everyone in this world is different with their own purpose, charting their own course. But variety is the key on this journey. The good, the bad, the indifferent. We must be conscious. All is precious, but we cannot be the same in this life game. If this world had one man and one woman, then life will be a bore. That's why there's different language, different village, different shores. All because it takes all kind of people to make up this world, yeah. It takes all kind of people for life to unfold. All kind of people, the black and the white. All kind of people, the wrong and the right. All kind of people, the yellow and red. All kind of people, even those who dread. People need people.
Oh yeah.
People need people. Yeah. Get them. When you look upon your fingers, you'll find it's natural, all are equal. Use that as an example with people. People on this stage of life, there are thinkers, givers and takers, the lawbreakers. But with every negative, there'll be positive. Everyone have a strange sense of value. So we got to do what we gotta do. We can make it, we can change it. So we got to carry on and on. It takes all kind of people to make up this world. Yeah. It takes all kind of people for life to unfold. All kind of people, the down and the up. All kind of people, and those who go wrong. All kind of people, the short and the tall. All kind of people, the big and the small. People need people. Hey. People need people. Get up. Ding and ding, ding 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 ding, ding 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 and ding. Hey, ha ha. Hey, give me. things that I do. You don't have the explanation for my action. Why not take the time to pursue a life with great meaning? Be more loving. Instead of having this mess, we'll see much progress. Don't judge me by the way that I look. Turn the pages and read the book. Check the chapter, the character, then you'll always remember. Yeah, 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 yeah. It takes all kind of people to make up this world. Yeah. It takes all kind of people for love to unfold. All kind of people, the happy and sad. All kind of people, the good and the bad. All kind of people, the rich and the poor. All kind of people, those who fight the war. People need people, yeah. People need people. People need people. Whoa, whoa. People need people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People need people. People need people. Even those who sad. People need people. De la la la. People need people. Baby, de la la la. People need people. The black and the white. People need people. The wrong and the right. People need people. The yellow and red. People need people. Even those who dread. People need people. The down and the up. People need people. And those who go wrong. People need people. People need people.
Yes, man, people need people. And right about now, the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis and most of Queen City Nevis don't just need people, need all of us citizens and national alike to have a level head, think rational, not about who the beneficiaries are, about wrong and right, what you would like for yourself, what the Constitution says for all, not conveniently. I cannot believe that after all these weeks of listening to Brother Sam Kanda and Groundings, he's still stammering and stuttering. Things that Sam is saying today, I don't understand. And I'm not going to go away, you know. I'm going to continue to counter what they're doing. The markup fella, Sam, Dwyer, all of you out there. I'm going to continue to come live until you all start doing the right thing. Because the things you're saying today, you know, Sam, I heard you trying to make a point, and I don't agree with what Sean did, trying to politicize the criminal activities that's taking place. But let somebody else who was not there speak about Sean. Because when you're going to say that Sean was in the previous Team Unity concussion, the Team Unity administration, and he did not know anything then, and all of a sudden he know a lot. But Sam, you're in the same situation. You was a part of the Team Unity. You are a member of it. You're part owner of the People's Labour Party with your leader there, the Farmer Hag. I cannot get no answers out of you when I ask you questions, Sam, because you're so tight-lipped you don't know anything. But don't forget, Sam, that while Sean was a deputy PM under the Farmer Hag, you was the foreign minister in New York mission here for 5 years. Many questions I asked of you about what was going on, you did not know anything. But these days you know a lot. When I ask you why you're not saying something about what's going on in Nevis as a former minister of government, and you know what the country needs to go right. You did not know enough about Nevis politics to talk, but you know everything now. Everything is Janice's fault now. What is Janice doing wrong? What did Janice do to you all? Janice is on the right track. Janice is doing the right thing. This lady Cleon, for whatever reason, seems to forget that she's a deputy and she must follow what the executive decided. She have to toe the line. She seems to forget that. And what I come here this evening, I'm not going to be long, you know. I'm going to be here the latest 8 o'clock St. Kitts time, 7 p.m. New York time. I'm not going to be long with you all tonight because my boys coming to play some pool here with me and I plan to take care of them on this pool table here. It's been a while I have not knocked any balls because of the weather and been traveling and stuff. So definitely this evening I want to drop a few band shots on them here and show them I still have it. But we're going to jump right into the business because tonight is to follow all of the inconsistencies of Simone, Sister Cleon, sorry, and also of the Marco Polo, whatever you all want to call him. Because I understand he too had some nonsense to talk on Wednesday evening on his program. And the funny thing about it is, you know, you all know I'm capable of answering everybody and anybody who wants to take me on, you know. The only difference is when it's going to affect family members of the people that attack me or their friends, I try to hold back on what I have to say because I'm not here to hurt people. I'm here to deal with the culprits, just the culprits. But if the markup fella want to test me, a lot of things gonna drop, you know. The place gonna get hot, you know. Very, very hot. And family members and friends gonna get caught in the crossfire. They're gonna be casualties. You got a gentleman apparently listen to my program and he will report to the markup fella weekly on what I say. So I want you to take this message to the markup fella. He said he don't know who Morrishaw is. Well, when I finish tonight and you go back and report to him, he should know exactly who Morrishaw is. And if I have to come back here to remind him who Morrishaw is, I'm coming back with receipts. Because whatever I put on here, and he's going to take me under the clock. So, as the AG had says, whenever you speak, as long as it's the truth, no worry about nothing. So, me got me receipts, you know. So, when I finish presenting myself tonight, brother man, whoever you are that reports to the markup fella weekly, take the message straight that I'm coming mild this evening and I'm going to present myself mildly. But anytime I have to come back to respond to him. You hear about the earthquake that happened in Syria? That ain't going to have nothing on me when I finish with his backside. You understand? I am not Hensley Daniel and Janice them that walk soft. I am not Prime Minister Joe who want peace in the valley. You start a war with me, I'm going to end it. I'm like Mike Tyson. I'm going to knock you out in the first round. I'm not going to give you a chance to come back. So, Mr. Markup fella, you could stay down there and do what you got to do for Nevis. I'm going to stay here and observe and report the good and the bad. If you do a good job, I'm going to say you're doing a good job. If you're doing a bad job, I'm going to say you're doing a bad job. That is how we're going to be. Do not get personal with me, and I'm not going to get personal with you. Because when I get personal with you, and it's under the clock, you're going to take me. But I have the receipts, so I'm prepared to go under the clock with you. You understand? So, if you're listening, get your popcorn and your wine, because I know you like wine. Because I'm going to drop some wine in your hands tonight, right? We're going to start off with Sister Cleon and her nonsense. And we're going to walk it down the road, you know, because I want by the time this program finished this evening, that Sam Kanda and Dwyer Astafan and them understand where I'm coming from. I understand even my boy Douglas Watley is in the mix. And Douglas Watley has got more sense than me. So good night, brother Douglas Watley. Good night, brother Lice, Big Lice. Larry Vaughan, the man Ira McMahon. Brother Kanda, brother Dwyer, Dr. Martin, the big JL. I also want to touch HE, our Gigi, Sister Marcella Libert. Good evening, how you doing? I hope it's a lovely Friday evening in Sweet Sugar City St. Kitts and you're having a good time. I also want to send condolences to the folks of number 2, Sister Marsha Henderson and crew, and the government at large. You guys just simmer down there with the killing. Just simmer down, you know. So we're going to start off with Cleon. I'm not playing the full leg of the clips them tonight. I'm just playing the clips where I need to explain and expand on the things that I need to say. So let's start off here with Sister Cleon made it clear and the narrative that she don't have any issue supporting Sister Janice Daniel. That's where we're going to start this evening, because I'm trying to clear up some things for Dwyer and Sam. They are my good brethren, them, and they might be up there in age, and they might need a little coaching. Dr. Martin seems to get the idea by now, and I think Iva get the idea, and the big JL get the idea. The Governor General have her work cut out for her, but I'm pretty sure she's sensible enough to know that Janice Daniel represents a party, and the party is fully behind Janice Daniel. Cleon represents no one. She says she's independent. So I guess it's she and she husband she represents. So when the time comes on Monday, whenever this budget thing is, we're going to see how that goes. But I want to believe that the Gigi is very versed on law and the Constitution. I also want to believe that the Speaker of the House will follow the law. And the party that contested the elections, the parties, was the CCM and the NRP. The Premier, Mark Brantley, is the CCM representative. Janice Daniel, the leader of the NRP, is the NRP representative. Cleon, sit in the corner and learn. Okay, Cleon, sit in the corner and learn. Learn manners. Understand, you have to respect the law and respect the Constitution and respect your party's guidelines. So let's start off with that one.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Narrative. Now we get to speak to the deputy leader of the Nevis Reformation Party, Mrs. Cleon Stapleton Simmons. Mrs. Simmons, good day, and thank you so much for joining us here on The Narrative.
Good day, Ms. Crosby, and thank you so much for having me. It's indeed a pleasure.
It is a lot for us to have you here with us. We know that the election in Nevis was held last December, and there is an impasse. We are trying to determine who will be the opposition leader from the Nevis Reformation Party. And we also understand that yesterday, Monday, there was a meeting that was held to see if we can get past that stage. Can you please share with us what was the outcome of that meeting?
Oh, certainly. There is indeed a little impasse. It's not definitely a big one or perhaps a major issue as it relates to the leader of the opposition pursuant to the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis, Section 58. It's not something that is automatic. And so the leader of the opposition, in accordance with the Constitution, is whoever commands the majority of the elected members on the opposition bench. So you have to actually command the support. And so in Nevis 5, St. Thomas's Parish, where I was the incumbent, and so I was re-elected to that particular constituency, as well as Nevis 4, St. James's Parish, where the leader of the party, Dr. Janice Daniel, she was successful in obtaining that seat. Okay. Quite commendable.
All right.
So because of that, because it's just 2 constituencies, the Nevis Reformation Party is now poised in a position where we can have our senator on the opposition bench. In the past, in 2017, when NRP contested the local elections back then, NRP was only successful in winning 1 seat, and that was Nevis 5, St. Thomas's Parish. The incumbent, Joseph Parry, he would have won his seat. And so because there was no one commanded the majority, as per the Constitution, there was no lead opposition per se, though you had one person from the NRP on the opposition bench. But because there was only one seat, there was no command of a majority. Therefore, the NRP in opposition was not permitted to have a senator, was not eligible to have a senator based on the Constitution. So because of this results, now we had a change, and now we are actually entitled to have a senator. But of course, first, what has to be determined is the matter of the leader of the opposition. Now, I just wish to say on record that the leader of the opposition is not really an issue. I think that was somewhat misconstrued by persons in Nevis, the general public, and in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so the leader of the party, even though it is not absolutely automatic for her to be the leader of the opposition, she does have my support in order to be the leader of the opposition. What?
Okay, Sam Dwyer, I don't know if you all follow it to that point, but that is enough for me. She does not have an issue with Janice being the leader of the opposition. She accepts that. There's a but to it. In another clip going forward, you will realize that that same Libad, that same lying girl who is not consistent, is going to tell us that following the December 12th elections, that she reached out to the leader and asked her if is she willing to support her, Cleon, to be the leader. Okay? But we're going to leave it at that one for now. Let's move on to the next phase. That was on the narrative, a regional broadcasting station. I think that is in Grenada someplace. That is where she went. They ain't going to come on DJ Morrishaw's program, you know, because they know when they come here, they're going to answer questions. When they come here, they're going to have to answer the questions them. So they're not going to come here. But let's move on to the next phase. The next phase here that I'm looking for is where my boy, the big JL, reported that he spoke with Cleon. This was last Friday, prior to coming online. And Cleon was supposed to make some kind of statement in regards to what transpired earlier in the week with a decision taken by the, taken by the executive of the NRP. Whatever that decision was, I think it ended up being being suspended from the works of the NRP, pending whatever the impasse was going on and whatever. He went to the disciplinary committee. So that was the narrative. That is where she was speaking about this impasse. Fast forward to a statement by the Honorable Lady, the leader of the party, the Honorable Janice Daniel Hatch. Have we put anything chronic on order, you know, because I want you to understand where we are. I want Sam and Dwyer, you know, they are up there in age, and even me, sometimes I forget things. So we're going to do it this way. She support Janice for the leader. So let's move on to the next phase. Does she support Janice for the leader? She's still writing to Governor General to say she's not supporting Janice and all of this. So let's go to the next clip.
As you are aware, the NRP contested 5 seats in the recently held elections of 12th December 2022. The results of those elections in 2 of those constituencies are being challenged in the High Court by the NRP candidates, Dr. Patricia Bartlett and Ms. J.D. Keynes. The NRP won 2 seats. Nevis 4 was won by myself, and the Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons, 1 Nevis 5, St. Thomas's. With 2 elected members, the NRP is entitled to have 1 member appointed as opposition leader, provided that that member is supported by the other elected member. The opposition leader is entitled to nominate a senator in the Nevis Island Assembly. The Executive Committee of the Nevis Reformation Party took a decision on December 29, 2022, that I, as party leader, should be appointed the opposition leader. The Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons was aware of the executive decision and was requested to advise the Governor General of her support for me as the opposition leader in furtherance of the decision of the Executive Committee. While I will not go into the details of the situation at hand, it is with regret that I inform you that to date, Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons has not complied with the request of the Executive Committee to sign the letter. As such, the Governor General has not appointed an opposition leader. As leader of this party, therefore, I wish to advise that the Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons has been conditionally suspended from the institutions of the NRP pending the findings and recommendations of the NRP Disciplinary Committee. I can assure you that as we take this time that God has given us to build our resilience, our integrity, and our togetherness, my NRP remains resolute that we have a mandate to take Nevis in a new direction to overcome the many social, economic, and environmental challenges that we face in today's ever-changing world. The people of Nevis deserve a caring and compassionate NRP government that can empathize with our struggling families and who want a brighter and more sustainable future for our youth. Our people deserve an NRP government that understands the importance of creating jobs and providing adequate healthcare services here on Nevis. It is not an easy road. There are many challenges along this path, but we know that God will continue to guide us to ensure that nothing happens before the appointed time. And when He is ready, NRP will be ready to serve the people of Nevis. We ask for your continued prayers and support.
Okay, so that's clear. Sister Janice explained the situation. The impasse is not getting any better, and the executive had to act. As we continue into these clips, you will realize why actions have to be taken, because this young lady, for whatever reason, keep moving the goalposts. Now, following that release, last Friday, Brother JL reported to us via his usual groundings program. And listen to what the big JL had to say.
Yeah. But I think the Honorable Cleon Simmons, her broadcast, I spoke with her prior to coming on the air.
Yes.
And she was saying that somewhere around 8 o'clock, not 6 o'clock.
Not 6.
Around 8. And we're carrying it live. We're carrying it live here at Freedom FM.
Okay. 8.
It's supposed to be 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is what she had told me. I don't know if she has upgraded it to 6 o'clock now. But whenever time it's coming on.
When is prime time in St. Kitts and Nevis?
No. This is prime time.
I hear you. Yeah. When is the next prime time in St. Kitts and Nevis? 6, 7, right?
6 o'clock.
Why 8? Why?
Well, we don't know.
8 is movies time. There's a football game in the park.
Yeah. But I think that 8 o'clock will become a prime time if she's going to make a broadcast.
Okay, so this is the big JL speaking about Cleon and him speaking prior to coming on here. And she decided she come in to make a broadcast that evening, and the big JL will be carrying it live. I don't believe the big JL will be making such a statement if he didn't have a conversation with Cleon, and Cleon said what he said to him. I know some of you might have a different opinion, but I know JL enough to know that he's a man of good stature in this area, and he would not come and make such a report. Now, listen to Sister Cleone calling in after the DJL make that statement.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Is this the Honorable Cleone Simmons?
Yes, it is. This is Honorable Cleone Stapleton Simmons. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and thank you so much for calling, because you have been the main topic this afternoon, it seems. Yes, go ahead. What would you like to say? Just give us a statement or tell us your thoughts at this moment.
Thank you. I would just like to say that, you know, the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis is the supreme law of the land, pursuant to Section 4 of that Constitution. As we know, the Section 58 of the Constitution clearly outlines how any person can become the leader of the opposition, and it's a process. And so I just want people to understand that, you know, I have not come.
So Section 50, whatever she wants to call, clearly outlines the process for someone to become a leader. But there's also a section in that same Constitution that outlines how a senator is also sworn in, how the Governor General will exercise that right. So let's continue to with our rumbling.
Committed any crime, any criminal activity, I am acting in accordance with the Constitution, which I believe offers me as a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis some protection. I am also an elected representative for the people of Nevis 5, that is St. Thomas's Parish. And so I believe that I do have some rights under the Constitution, some protection, which, you know, as a citizen, I have to act in accordance with. And I believe that the people of St. Thomas's expect me to act on principle. They expect me to always uphold integrity and to act honestly, and I believe I am quite capable of doing so. And so, Junie, I just ask people to understand that it is a process. I ask them to be patient. I ask people to respect me as a person as well as an individual, understand that I do have family and friends and people and constituents who love me and support me. At the end of the day, there is no absolute rule in a democracy. Okay? We cannot bully people into making decisions. We have to be able to persuade people. The Section 58 clearly states that the Governor General is guided by the person who commands the support of the other elected representatives. You have to command the support. The support should not.
Yes, Cleone. The Governor General is guided by the person who commands the support of the majority. Unfortunately for you, you are the deputy leader. Janice is the leader of the NRP. And in place where you don't want to support your leader, the executive had to step in and make a decision. The decision where everybody is in support of Janice Daniel Hodge to be the leader of the opposition. Remember, in your opening statement to the narrative in the previous clip, you said that was not in contention. So if that was not in contention, we shouldn't have any contention here. We understand the rule. The part of the Constitution we want you to understand now, the same Constitution that you're referring to, is that the Governor General now will act on the advice of the leader of the opposition, which is Janice Daniel Hodge, in a rightful position to advise who the senator will be. I'm going to continue to listen to your rumbling, because every time you open your mouth, you like, they fall them when the wind blows. Nothing there. Nothing there. So continue rumbling on.
Not be bullied. It is not demanded. Okay? You have to command it, and sometimes in this life we have to, as politicians, as elected representatives, as representatives of the people. At the end of the day, this is all about people. We have to be able to compromise. We live in a society where we have to give and take, and we have to have understanding. And that is what is important in this whole process. It is a test of the demonstration of how willing people are to empathize and to compromise with other persons in a democratic society, Julie. And
the only problem here, Cleon, there was nothing to sympathize or empathize or negotiate about. Had you followed what your mouth was saying, your brain was saying something different. You have a problem. Your mouth and your brain just not linking. Because, sister, you have no problem supporting Janice as the leader of the opposition. Your party executive and everyone else who was in the meeting agree with you. So how we arrive here, it's of your doing. And this is why, for the life of me, I don't understand why sensible people like Sam Kanda, Dwyer Astafan, and Douglas Watley and these people out there giving legs to your nonsense. I don't understand. These guys was on the get rid of them campaign with me. And these guys was on the ball. We was there. We was on to everything. You know? Now and again, Sam might bite his tongue, and I could understand why he biting his tongue, because he was a part of some of the mix-up. So he don't want to bury himself. I could understand that. But the matter, for the most part of it, all of us was on the same page with what was happening. So how come this simple, straight line you all can walk? You all don't have to chew the gum, just walk. Continue talking your nonsense, Cleon.
So that is all I wish to say on this particular matter. At the end of the day, I know that you mentioned that I would be joining you at 6 o'clock. I'm not sure where you got that from, but I would not be able to do so today. But when the time is right, I would be able to make an official public statement on this matter and to clarify the law and to explain to the people of Nevis 5, my dear constituents, the entire process and what took place, and to help them to understand that I have not committed any crime. I am acting within the ambit of the law.
There won't be any broadcast tonight at any time from you?
No.
Okay.
Certainly not.
What are your thoughts on the comments made by the leader of the NRP on 2020 Vision Radio earlier? I think that was done at 12:30. Any comments on those?
Not per se. The leader stated that I have been suspended, which I think everyone knows now. I can confirm that. I'm not sure what is the basis of the suspension, but, you know, that is a matter that will be dealt with in due course.
Leon, how do you mean you don't know why you were suspended? You went to a meeting with the executive because there was an impasse between you and the leader. The executive make a decision and you choose not to follow through. As a matter of fact, you took it upon yourself and sent a letter to Governor General to tell Governor General you're not supporting the leader as leader of the opposition. You should know. What do you mean you don't know? Let's continue with your rambling, buddy.
Like I said, we live in a democracy and we have to all compromise. If it is that it's two persons who have to make this decision at the end of the day, I believe that, you know, we must expect conduct and behavior and sensible action and mature action from both persons.
Leon, in this case, in your next clip, you're going to explain certain things and you're going to say you're tying up yourself, Leon. It was not two people making a decision. It's a party. There's 5 constituencies with thousands of members, thousands of voters. You want something your way. You want to tell the captain how to run the team and you're the vice captain. So the whole team came together and decided, no, we're supporting our captain. You get upset and sit down in the wicket. Game mash up. Game can't continue. This is what you did, Cleon. So you're talking about candor and all of these stuff. Who is in your head? Somebody is up there, sitting down up there. Tell them, get out your head. Continue with your nonsense.
Not just one person. Like I said, there's no absolute rule. We live in a democracy. We are guided by the Constitution of St. Christopher and Nevis. And I believe when the makers of that Constitution, when they were writing it, they understood that there would always be situations in politics where you have to give and you have to take, Julie.
Well, Cleon, you only want to take. You're not giving. From my understanding, You came into a party without going to the due process of our candidate should be selected for the NRP. My brethren there, Brother Parry brought you in because he had confidence in you. The man must be shitting in the boots. The man must be so embarrassed. It's only one or two things. It's either Parry was so upset with the NRP that since he was leaving, he brings somebody to mash up the NRP. Or he brought you there hoping that you will carry the flames and you're not able to carry it. You know? It's either one or two things. It's either he brought you there when he leave to mash up the party because he was upset with people in there. And I don't think Brother Parry did that. I honestly don't think Brother Parry did that. Somewhere along the line, you got it wrong. The problem we have here, you know, hadn't Janice win her seat and you won your seat and somebody else, if Patricia Bartlett or J.D. Keynes or Rohan Isles, any other one of them had won their seat, there wouldn't be no problem because you will be the leader of the opposition and things would be nice. You would be satisfied. But your little trip to Taiwan went to your head. People whispering in your brain. And you figure now that at the end of the day, you're not going to support Janice because you should have been the leader. Sour grapes. So let's continue, Sister Cleo. Continue rambling.
All right, thank you so very much. A lot of people think that you're either going to remain as an independent or maybe cross the floor, but those options will be a part of the democratic process, and you will,
Indeed.
and you will deal with them when the time comes.
That's correct, Johnny.
That's correct. All right.
Okay, so it seems to me that these folks, I heard Dwyer say it, I heard Big Light say it, I heard Douglas Watley say it. A lot of these people that go to university and go to college don't pay no attention to their certificate. They're more momo and dumb than the average person. The street smarts person is more reasonable and understanding. And I think I had to start believing that. Because many of the university graduates who have been listening to this lady rambling on and want to tell me that she has a point, they support her. Stand up for this, stand up for that, stand up for what? The lady's a Jack. And not a Jack Daniel either. Jack Daniel is too good, but she's a Jack. Right? With all of that she carried on, with all of this she read. In her own words, she had a national address eventually. The address I think she promised Juni that might not have finished as yet. Maybe whoever was writing her address didn't finish writing it. The suspension letter that she get had her so shaken up. She was not prepared to follow through with her broadcast. But she eventually had it. I guess when she bring it? Valentine's Day. That's the love she have for the people of Nevis. And that's the love she have for NRP. She bring this on Valentine's Day. Take a listen.
Fellow citizens, I bid you warmest greetings. I side fit at this time in my capacity as parliamentary representative for Nevis 5 and member of the opposition to address the nation in the interest of the public on the issue of the impasse as it relates to the appointment of the leader of the opposition and my suspension from the executive of the Nevis Reformation Party. I wish to thank the constituents of Nevis 5 for convincingly re-electing me as your humble servant and parliamentary representative. I am indeed honored, humbled, and grateful for this opportunity to serve you. When you re-elected me on December 12, 2022, as your representative, I pledged that I would serve you with honor, honesty, integrity, and in a principled manner. I continue to do so and shall continue to do so to the best of my ability. The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is a multi-party parliamentary democracy which enables its citizens to elect a government of their choice. Citizens and residents on the island of Nevis was given this opportunity on the 12th day of December 2022. Following the December 12 elections, the Nevis Reformation Party, NRP, won 2 of the 5 seats, namely Nevis 4 and Nevis 5. NRP, having secured 2 of the 5 electoral seats, formed the opposition in the Nevis Island Assembly at that time, and thereby creating an occasion for the appointment of a leader of the opposition in accordance with Section 58, subsection 2 of the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis. Section 58, subsection 2 states that whenever there is an occasion for the appointment of a leader of the opposition, the Governor General shall appoint the representative who appears to him or her most likely to command the support of the majority of elected representatives who do not support the government. No representative shall be eligible for appointment unless it appears to the Governor General that the representative commands the support of at least one other representative. To put this in simple terms, there are 2 members who comprise of the opposition, and one cannot be appointed as leader of the opposition without the support of the other. At all material times, I have indicated that I fully support Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge to be the leader of the opposition. However,
Okay. You support Janice Daniel Hodge to be the opposition. But Cleo, before you get to the end of your statement, you already sell yourself out. Because this thing about the democracy and the multi-party, you and everybody know, is a dual party in Nevis. It's CCM and NRP contend the election. So when the multi came in because you now want to insert a third party in the Nevis Island Assembly for your convenience. It ain't gonna happen. It's not going to happen. We have a sensible Governor General and we got a sensible Speaker of the House. So you're not going to go into the Nevis Island Assembly come budget day, go insert a third party. There's no third party running the election, Cleon. It was CCM and NRP. So you choose to go independent, you stay independent and wait until independent get a chance to run. Because independent did not run in the last election. Who ran in the last election was CCM and NRP. I understand some other person must run and get 1 or 2 votes. I didn't get a vote at all. But in your case, you run as an NRP, not as an independent. So there's no multi-business. You might get multi-million from your markup fella for the damage you're doing. And I hope you do. Because basically it's clear that what you're doing here, there's no benefit to you out of it. The only thing unless somebody is paying you something to do the job you're doing to destroy the party internally. Other than that, you cannot win. So let's continue with your rumbling.
However, I did request that I would like to have a say in selecting the nominated member. I remain resolute that this was not a difficult proposal. Some may argue that the leader of the opposition has the right to nominate a senator. However, the member must first has to be appointed as leader of the opposition. This, my dear citizens, is not an absolute right nor entitlement. It requires collaboration, consensus, and compromise. It is a give and take situation. As the elected member for Nevis 5, I am of the firm view that I must always have a voice on behalf of the people who elected me to represent them, and that voice should never be muzzled nor muted in any way. A decision so important as choosing a senator requires a democratic process.
Although the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution gives the leader of the opposition the right to nominate a senator, I am certain that the authors of same did not intend a unilateral approach to the said appointment. I am certain that they must have envisioned a holistic and inclusive approach. After all, St. Kitts and Nevis is a democratic country. I could not, in good conscience, support Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge to be the leader of the opposition before the first sitting of Parliament on January 19, 2023, because of the approach and the stance that she took in relation to the nominated member.
Now, here it is. She sang from the narrative to Freedom FM and all across the globe that she support the leader of the party for the leader of the opposition. That's supposed to be the first instance, Anything else come later. First instance is the leader of the opposition. She support her all the way. Well, you're gonna tell me, if the NRP had won the election, this young lady would have wanted to be the premier? That's what it seems like to me. At no time, what she was saying or doing. Well, her actions show me that she was not behind Janice in any way. I see for myself. But with all this talking, it's her clips. And the situation is gonna get worse. Continue listening.
Permit me a few minutes to explain the chronological order of events that led to the impasse and events thereafter. I promise to be brief. On December 14, 2022, 2 days after the local election, I reached out to Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge to arrange a meeting to discuss the leader of the opposition and the nominated member. We met that same evening. I indicated to the Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge that if she was so inclined to permit me to be the leader of the opposition, as I was in the Parliament for almost 3 years, or if she was inclined to be the leader of the opposition, that I will fully support her, provided that we agreed that I will choose the senator, of course with guidance from herself and the party.
I wonder if this girl listened to this clip. She should have listened to it before she posted it, because sensible people out here listening. She rant about what the Constitution says. But she picked the areas that she wants. How could Sam Kanda, Dwyer Astafan, and whoever is out there listen to this hogwash and think that this lady have some kind of negotiation and Janice should negotiate? Instead, they should have been kicked out and she backslid a long time. This lady don't show no team spirit. She's not a team player. She should have been gone a long time. But let's continue listening. Is her word. She's speaking. She might come back next week and say she didn't say it. So let's listen.
On December 28, 2022, during a telephone conversation, Dr. Daniel Hodge stated that she saw no reason why she, as the leader of the party, should not be the leader of the opposition. I informed her that the matter was not in dispute, as I had already given the undertaking that I would support her to be the leader of the opposition as early as December 14, 2022. On December 29, 2022, the matter was raised again during an executive meeting. I reiterated several times during the meeting that I was willing to support Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge as the leader of the opposition, provided that I was able to choose the senator, and of course, with input and guidance from the party.
So, Janice must cut a deal with her so that she can get leader of the opposition. And then she, Cleon, will get the opportunity. Now, forget that she don't want to hear about the Constitution anymore, you know. The Constitution she's been preaching about, which says that the governor shall appoint a senator based on the advice of the leader of the opposition. Now, she's telling us that in order for her to support Janice, Janice must give up that right for her to select the senator of her choice that will support her agenda, Cleon's agenda, Cleon's ambition. And Janice Danner will sit in the NIA as a lame duck, a lone ranger, while Cleon and her senator run rings around Janice and override everything that she wants to do. This is what this young lady is trying to tell us. As someone said, the markup fella don't want any opposition in the NIA. And he know in Cleon, he don't have any opposition. So that is what he wants. Let's continue listening. Let's make it make sense, Sam. Let's make what Cleon doing make sense, Dwyer. Let's make what Cleon doing make sense, Douglas Watley. You all are scholars. I yield to you all. Make me understand that this makes sense. Continue, Cleon.
It was clear to me that the members of the executive either did not understand my proposal or were already round-robin on the matter, as the members were adamant that the party leader should be the leader of the opposition. The meeting erupted in total chaos as the members were of the view that I was being disloyal to the party. I was accused in the most insulting and inhumane manner of being a traitor and trying to destroy the party. The negative energy in the meeting could not have been a natural consequence of a suggestion made by myself as a deputy leader of the party, which in the circumstances was not unreasonable. The negative energy appeared to mirror the years of resentment towards me by some members of the executive, stemming from the leadership battle in 2020 between Honorable Daniel Hodge and myself.
Well, Cleon, but you know that existed. It's clear that you have some kind of resentment to Janice because you lost the leadership. Your actions, your operatives, your people. Many of your operatives reach out to me, you know. Many of them try to convince me to support you, you know, Cleo. And I would have only supported you had you been elected leader in this matter. Had you been elected as leader and Janice do what you are doing, I'll be taking the same stance. And like I said a few minutes ago, you know, what is even more heart-wrenching for me right now is some of those same operatives that was trying to get me to support you. Right now, they got a young man from our federation, picture in some WhatsApp going all over the globe, trying to dirty the man. All of us have some kind of fault in our life. Christ died for our sins, but all of us have some kind of sin, something we did wrong in our life coming up. This man not running for office, but your operatives out there have this man information all over the globe, all because he speak the truth. He speak about the Constitution, and he say he disagree with your approach. You all got the man all over the place. You all need to be exposed for the wrong you all are doing to people. Let's continue listening to your nonsense.
Of course, leading the charge was Mr. Kelvin Daly, the chairman of the St. Paul's constituency group, who by now all could confidently conclude that he is not a fan of myself. I can go further and state openly that from inception of my political career, I was disliked by Kelvin Daly for reasons unknown to me.
Despite my protest to the chairman, Mr. Henry Daniel, not to put the matter of the leader of the opposition to a vote because the decision to support Honorable Dr. Daniel Hodge could only be made by myself as the other elected member of the opposition, and it was not necessary to do so as the matter was not in dispute. I advised the meeting that a discussion at the executive level on this matter should be merely persuasive. The chairman nevertheless ignored my requests and proceeded to allow members of the executive to vote on the matter. It became clear to me that this was a well-orchestrated plan designed by some members of the executive. I wish to inform the general public that I strongly protested against the executive voting on this matter for several reasons. Firstly, I was concerned that any future reliance on the executive decision of December 29, 2022 to coerce me to support Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge could be deemed as an infringement of my constitutional right under Section 58(2) of the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution, which afforded me the discretion to offer my support to the other elected member to be the leader of the opposition. Secondly, I was fully aware that no decision of the executive nor the NRP's constitution can bind me as a member in parliament in circumstances where I was exercising my parliamentary duty or function in accordance with Section 58 of the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution. Further, I was mindful that the St. Kitts and Nevis Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and any law or rule that is inconsistent or contradicts the Constitution is void to the extent of the inconsistency. Thirdly, the very same chairman, Mr. Henry Daniel, who was chairing the meeting, was one of the persons listed by the party leader during the meeting as having an interest in being the nominated member or senator. I openly objected to the chairman being appointed as a senator for 1 year merely to qualify him for his pension, as I was of the view that that move will set the party back 50 years, and there were other avenues available to him to get his pension. I also reproved the chairman for not disclosing his interests prior to the meeting and for not recusing himself from chairing the meeting and for casting a vote knowing that he had an interest in being the senator.
Okay, Cleo. We're talking about the leadership of the opposition, and we're talking about the senator position. Apparently, there was many names, analysts, that was submitted for recommendation. Why you have to single out Brother Henry Daniel? What have Henry Daniel done to you that if, in fact, he needs 12 months to be qualified to get a pension that he could eat? I've been hearing the name Henry Daniel for God knows how many donkey years. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's one of the founding members of the NRP. I could be wrong, but I've been hearing his name for so long. The first time I actually got close to Henry Daniel is when he came to New York last year at the fundraising activity at the church here in the Bronx, New York. That's the first time I got close to Henry. And from what I see, you cannot find a more genuine, loving, peaceful guy. My interaction with him from that point to now has been nothing but respect and want to help. So if you, as the deputy leader of the NRP, who is sitting in Nevis Island Assembly, and this man has not been getting his pension, or is not qualified to get a pension, and he needs 12 months to be qualified. What's wrong with you helping one of your brother, one of your party member? There's a lot of foreigners out there getting all kind of help. I understand some media company get so much hundreds of thousands of dollars of support from the NIA. So they're making movies in Nevis. Hundreds of thousands. It's not me who said it, it's the patch-up fella said it. He was part of the team, so he should know. I understand the same media house, MSR Media, whatever it is. I understand they buy the OTI in St. Kitts. They didn't have money to maintain their organization and put up people. So the NIA subsidized millions of hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. Then they jump ship, they go on St. Kitts, buy a hotel in St. Kitts, not Nevis, where they get the money from. And now I understand they're over in Antigua. So something is wrong with your head, Cleon. Because if I was part of that conversation and there's 20 young people named put on the list to be a senator, and Mr. Hensley Daniel name come there saying he needs 6 months or 12 months to qualify to get his pension, I would vote for that. Help your brother, help your sister. They say passing Christian child first, but you try your child out with the bad water. Hensley them been there doing the work for NRP before you. So what happened if the man get a little curry? It's not coming from you, Cleon. The man getting what he's entitled to. So whoever was advising you, or whatever hate you have for the gentleman, that is a very serious, serious hate. And I will go back there. If this is in truth a fact that Hensley Daniel needed to be senator for 12 months to qualify for his pension, whenever this matter is resolved and the senator position is filled, I would advise the leader of the opposition to give the man the opportunity, put an understudy there with him so that when he qualifies for his pension, you move in that senator. Hensley have a lot of information. He's a very educated guy. I hear Mark Banty say he teach him. If he teach him Markup fella, I sure he didn't teach him Markup fella to do the wrong he doing to people. The Hensley Daniel I know could not have teach the Markup fella to do the wrong he's doing. But you seems like you learn from the Markup fella. Vengeance is yours. It's a circle. The minister at my cousin funeral there today spoke about politicians and people and doing good, helping your community, helping your brother and sister, because you're going to come back at you tenfold. So Sister Cleon, you're out the door. I understand your husband named Slammer, but you need to slam the door behind you, you know. You need to slam the door for you when you leave, because anytime NRP give you a chance to come back inside there, you remember what Starshield said? You're sorry for old hag? You remember that? That's what the farmer hag did to us. You felt sorry for him, he fired 6 at a blow. Right? Continue talking your nonsense, Sister Cleon.
The glaring conflict was not only unprincipled, but wrong in every sense of the word. I was fully aware that the majority of members who voted to endorse Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge as leader of the opposition were unfinancial members of the party and therefore were ineligible to vote during the said meeting, thereby breaching Article 5A of the NRP's Constitution. Therefore, rendering the December 29th decision null and void and of no binding effect, as the chairman did not take any remedial steps during the meeting, immediately thereafter, or to date to rectify the breach. I will revert on this point later in this address. Having received notice that the first sitting of Parliament was scheduled for January 19, 2023, I reached out to Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge to finalize the selection of the senator. We discussed putting a rubric or criteria in place to guide the selection process, which we eventually did. At that time, she also sent me the final list of names that were suggested for the senator, and I observed that an additional name was added to the original 9 names which were disclosed during the December 29th meeting of the executive. We met on Friday, 13th January 2023 to discuss the matter. And at that time, we had narrowed the list down to 2 persons. I recommended Renaldon Bartlett. Most of you may know him as DJ X-Ray. And
Now, you hear the name DJ X-Ray. I don't know if I'm going to have the time to play EK clip. I did my investigation, because, my investigative journalist and in my own rights. And I could understand now why EK was chatting in nonsense on his issues program a couple of days ago, because apparently this DJ X-Ray is some partner to EK. But EK, as I said to you a couple of days ago, I know you to be a good person, the little I know of you. And you have to follow the story, follow the message. If this X-Ray boy is a partner and you want him to get the opportunity, from my understanding, Cleon wasn't a fan of this gentleman. I understand he used to work in the NRP office and she let him go or whatever problems they had, whatever. But whatever she trying to get accomplished, she tried his name out there. So EK, let's forget about our personal achievement for once. Let's focus on country above self. Let's focus on what best for the NRP. Let's forget on what best first for Nevis and its people. That's what I want you guys to do. Hensley is a son of the soil. If what this young lady is saying, that Hensley need 1 year in that NIA as a senator to get his pension, give it to him. What's the big deal? We did not need to be where we are today. Come on, Cleon. You're talking about negotiation? That's negotiation. The negotiation should have been, okay, this is the young person that we're going to put up as per the final decision of the leader of the opposition. But let's help one of our brother. He needs our help right now. Let's put him there, the interim senator, and we're going to have the younger senator understudy him. That's what the discussion should have been. That's what the compromise should have been. Let's continue listening to your ramble.
Honorable Dr. Daniel Hodge recommended Miss Carlin Merchant. I had no objections to Miss Merchant, save and except that I was of the view that the nominated member should at the very least be a member of the party or be in some way a supporter of the party. I admitted to Honorable Dr. Daniel Hodge that I did not know Miss Merchant's political allegiance, as I have never seen her around the party, or at least within the past 2 years, nor during the 4 consecutive elections that NRP recently contested.
Now, Sister Cleon, I learned some stuff during this last election, federal election in St. Kitts Nevis. And I asked some questions because I needed to know. These thousands of people I see up front and center putting up their hand, want to be board members, want to be the PS, want to be this, want to be that. And I say I never seen them. You know why I didn't see them? There could be many reasons why I couldn't see them. Maybe I was not around when they was around. Maybe while I'm underground marching and putting in what I have, because all I have is my little courage to march underground to sensitize the people. Maybe all I have is this little program to bring information to the people. But some of those people that I did not see on the street marching with me, Cleo, they was putting in finance that I couldn't put in. They might have been on social media doing their thing, like Sister Tracy Mason and them. They might have been on the radio like Ike talking, like Curtis Cook, like Larry Vaughan and Dwyer and Sam and everybody. There are a lot of people that I did not see, but they was out there collectively doing a lot of stuff. The people that I spoke about, that some people get upset when I say, where were you when we needed you, is the people that was cursing me out on social media. The people that was here in New York saying, Labour dead and they will never support a Labour Party. They will never support Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe could never win his seat. These are the people I was speaking to at the church when they're fighting to take picture with the new Prime Minister, our good Prime Minister. Not the people that was out there doing their thing and doing their thing, because I only have one vote. I gave it to Dr. Douglas. My one vote could not have elected a Labour Party. I'm speaking about those people who was undermining my effort to take out the farmer hag and them lying people I have there. The PLP, the CCM and the Pampalam team, who was taking us down the drain. Those are the people I was talking to. And the majority of your criticism and division. I know for those people that spend more than 24, 48 hours running from airport to airport trying to come save the country. They could not be there on the ground with me because they were here doing the thing. People like Naomi Ward and Hazel Claxton and Rosita Pontine and Damien Creeley and these people. I know KO and a whole bunch of people that jump and plane come down there. I know they could not be there with me, but a lot of them was right here on the ground when I went down to the mission. When I was trying to talk about our 3 citizens that got arrested and our citizens that got tear gas, those are the people I was talking to, Cleo. So if you didn't see this young lady around, talk to the leader, talk to your executive. They know who she is. There must be a reason why her name ended up on the list. This is not a Cleo club. I understand you're an attorney. And with all these things you're saying here, I would like to know who you have represented and how many cases you win. I would like to know what you have done for people in your position as an attorney, because you're not speaking like one. So let's continue.
On the other hand, I knew Mr. Ronaldo Bartlett, and I knew him to be an avid supporter of the Nevis Reformation Party for many years. I was of the view that Mr. Bartlett was a good candidate for a senator, as he was a member of the St. Paul's constituency group, and he had shown an interest in being a candidate for Nevis 1.
Leon, I met a gentleman here who is a member of the youth arm, a very good journalist, young upcoming journalist there in Nevis. I see him at every step of the way, working his behind half in Nevis. I understand he was on the campaign trail trying to get you elected. Brother Devon Cornelius. You ever consider Devon Cornelius to be a senator? Have you ever spoke to Devon Cornelius about his interests if he would like to be a senator? Everybody cannot be a senator. But if you and Janice couldn't figure it out, even though it's Janice's right to do what she needs to do with the senator, even after you recommend that you all take it back to the executive, even the executive that you recommend that they go to you, you still have no respect for them. You cuss them off. Let's continue this new nonsense.
He had also served as the office administrator in the office of the opposition during Mr. Joseph Parry and myself time. I was also of the view that a young male in parliament complementing the two elected females was a good image for the party.
Here you go with the male and female thing, Cleo. If you thought that you needed more male and the ticket, I asked this question a couple of nights ago. The NRP seat was a show seat. They didn't need you to win it. Why didn't you give up your seat to a male? Since you wanted to have the party gender balance, why did you support 4 candidates, 4 female candidates and 1 male in the local election? Why didn't you give up your seat, your spot to a male, so that you have gender balance? Why all of a sudden you want gender balance? Because it fits your narrative. Sister Cleone, there are sensible people listening. Dwyer tell me that me and him and Sam is in the 4%. But I want to know which percent are in with Dwyer them, you know, because if Dwyer them cannot see you wrong, they're gonna have to take me out of the percentage, you know. I mean, I sit in the percentage there with them. Let me go in the 1% or the 2%. I'm gonna have to give them a 4% shot. Because if they cannot see what you're doing is wrong, Cleone, I don't want to sit in the percentage group with Sam and Dwyer. I know they're more sensible than that.
To show gender balance and equality and diversification of talents. I am not interested in political power. I am for people empowerment.
Leon, you lie. You lie bad. It's because of your interests and your ambitions for political power why we are where we are. I heard some speaking today about how things are bad and Janice this and Janice that and unhappy. And you can't be dividing or reducing. You should be adding. Sam seems to forget that he reduced seats in the Labour Party and across the floor, you know. Sam seems to forget that he left the Labour Party and went and crossed the floor. He was a part of the downfall of the Labour Party. He was the start of the PLP. And without him, there wouldn't have been the team unity. Sam seems to forget that. This is why I have my questions for these people, because these are people that I respect and will continue to respect no matter what. But I will question their credibility when they're talking nonsense to me. But I will always respect them because they are good people. Continue, Cleone.
Especially for ordinary citizens in this country and those who come from humble beginnings. I saw potential in this young man to be given the opportunity to serve his country and party by being appointed as a senator. We must, as leaders, always pave the way to create opportunities for the young people to become exposed and to develop, especially our young males. Despite the Honorable Dr. Daniel Hodge and I best efforts in trying to choose a senator, we simply could not agree for different reasons. I therefore suggested that the matter should be taken to the executive body for a wider discussion, as I was of the view that a more holistic approach was necessary. During the executive meeting of December 29th, I informed the meeting that if we were unable to decide on a senator within reasonable time, I would have to write to the Governor General, as I was obliged to inform him that I did not support the other elected member to be the leader of the opposition. Otherwise, he would naturally presume that the support is given or commanded. I wrote to the Governor General indicating same on January 17, 2023 at approximately 1:36 p.m.
Now, you, the deputy leader, you met with the leader of the party and the executive, and they came up with a decision that the leader of the party will be the leader of the opposition. You decide there must be some negotiation, and the executive body decide no, their decision stands. You take it upon yourself and you wrote to the Governor General and tell the Governor General, my party, Cleon Stapleton Simmons, the owner of NRP, I am writing to tell you, I am not supporting Janice Daniel Hodge as the leader of the opposition. This is my party. Nobody gonna tell me what to do with it. To hell with the executive, to hell with their constitution. This is my party, this is my right. I'm standing on principle. Cleon, you should have been gone out the party a long time, not suspended. Not even the front door, you should have been thrown out through the back door. I don't know if you all have banana trees down the area where you live, but I know Carbo have some banana trees up by him. They should take you back there and whip you. This is nonsense, Cleon. Who the hell you think you be? You're bigger than the party, so you're going to refuse their directives, and you're going to go right to Governor General to say you're not going to support what the party decides. Girl, you're Paul crazy. Paul crazy. What were you smoking? As my baby girl would say, you're kidding me? Are you kidding me, Cleon? That's what my baby girl just tell me. Are you kidding me, Daddy? What are you telling me?
At 2 p.m. on that same day, I received a text message from Honorable Daniel Hodge indicating that I should call her urgently. Then I received another message at 3:35 p.m. from Honorable Daniel Hodge stating that she sent me a correspondence via email and I should sign it if I had no difficulty. I did not see the messages from Daniel Hodge until about 6 p.m. that same evening when I returned to my law office, as I was out of office and I did not get an opportunity to check my messages during the time I was out. I quickly checked my email and retrieved the letter from Daniel Hodge addressed to the Governor General stating that I support her as the member for number.
All right, so Cleon, you're gone. We understand. We understand you're confused. That's enough of that, right? Time is running out on me. So I'm going to jump straight into Brother Andrew Huey and Brother Wickham, because they and I are of the same opinion. So let's move on to that, right? Let's move on to Brother Wickham and Andrew Huey. Since Dwyer and Sam don't seem to get it right, let me see if they could understand this.
Political analyst Peter Wickham believes the political career of Nevis Reformation Party Deputy Leader Cleon Stapleton Simmons is over by virtue of the political impasse in the party. Mrs. Stapleton Simmons, in a recent media interview, confirmed that she and party leader Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge are at loggerheads regarding the choice of an opposition senator, but denied that she is withholding her support for Dr. Hodge to become opposition leader. But Mr. Wickham believes with the state of play, Stapleton Simmons' political career is essentially over.
You can cross the floor, that's political suicide, because that seat is never going to change color. So I would be very surprised if she thinks that she can. Maybe she could cross the floor and she will have some short-term benefit. It could prolong the life of the CCM administration if there was a by-election. So it might be in her short-term interest to do that, and she may be able to gain some level of ascendancy within that organization. But her long-term political reality is quite grim. My sense is that the NRP is the future of Nevis. because there certainly is a favorable swing, a favorable tailwind in their favor. So they're the future. And if she has determined that it is better for her to hitch her wagon to another star, a star which is on the decline, I would say that she demonstrated a level of political stupidity that would suggest that she was not worthy of promotion in the first place. So I don't know if that's the case, and certainly if it is, I think it would be very, very disappointing. And it would give her some short-term benefit, but long-term, it wouldn't go anywhere. And frankly, I think that the long-term reality for her, the prospects, are not that great as it stands unless she is able to mend fences and do so quickly. Within a future NRP government, whenever that occurs, whether it's now or in the future, she will not be trusted. And trust is something which it takes a long time to build, and it can be destroyed in a second. And I think that this is what we're seeing.
In an interview on WPG-10's The Narrative, Stapleton Simmons believes that the impasse between her and Dr. Daniel Hodge will be resolved soon.
We are mindful that it has to be resolved expeditiously, as our supporters definitely expect a quick resolution to the matter. And we are mindful that we will have budget debates very shortly. And so one would expect that this matter will be resolved before the next parliamentary sitting.
Based on the Constitution, the opposition leader must command the majority support of the opposition members of Parliament, and since the NRP only has 2 seats, Stapleton Simmons' support is needed for Dr. Hodge to be appointed opposition leader. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
You know something? She really miscalculated this, because I guess you think that Janice and the rest of the NRP team would be weak and put their personal selfish needs above the needs of the people that they represent and the rights of the voters who put them there. But she miscalculated her thing. And if the thing wasn't ludicrous enough, crazy enough, I find out last night that there's someone claimed to be her husband calling to the program last night and carrying on. All these guys was doing last night, Carlisle Powell was playing the clips. Kulu and Kelvin Daly, they were having the conversation about the clips like I'm doing here. No cussing. They just speaking the things them clear. And this gentleman called in, listen for yourself.
Good evening, caller.
Yes, good evening. How are you guys doing?
I'm excellent.
Okay. This is Cleo and Stapleton husbands, right? You guys have been cursing Cleo for the longest while, okay?
Who have been doing that?
You guys on the radio, man. Don't even start.
No, we're talking facts. We're playing clips and giving our own opinion. We allow you to give your opinion if you so want to do.
Mr. What's your name again? Powell. You guys are big people. You and Mr. Daly, you're senior, right? You guys are, Instead of you guys get even Cleo and Janice to come together and reason out these things, you guys just cussing Cleo, which is not good. And I doing more harm to the party than ever. You guys need to get this thing right, Listen to me. Before, when Cleo just come into this fellow.
I'm listening to you. You say I should listen, so I'm giving you time to speak.
Cleo just get into politics, right? When Cleo was launched. Cleo was the best thing for NRP then. You guys was all over Cleo. Cleo was the best thing. This thing was happening to you guys like Cleo is the worst thing that ever happened to NRP. Okay? It's the worst thing that ever happened to NRP. Cleo is the one who brought back NRP to life. Cleo is the one that brought back NRP to life. NRP was dead.
And how did she do that? And how did she do that?
Cleo is the one who brought back the energy to the party.
I'm asking you, how did she do that?
By entering into politics and make the politics different and make NRP.
Dr. Daly could have won St. Thomas's.
Where St. Thomas's where?
Tulu could have won St. Thomas's.
Dr. Daly can't even break a win.
I I'm telling you, Tulu could have won St. Thomas's. Anybody could have won St. Thomas's. St. Thomas's is a safe seat for NRP. How did St. Thomas's help NRP to win number 11?
Listen to me, Mr. Powell, listen to me again. Listen to me. Alright? You guys need to take a back seat. That you, Daly, Hensley Daniel, and all the rest, you guys need to take a back seat and let the party breathe. You killing the party. You guys are who killing the party. You need to take a back seat. Give the party time to breathe. You who want to be in the forefront. Let the people, the ladies who was doing a good job, you know? But if it was the first time, the party will win.
You want a suggestion, caller? You want a suggestion? Tell Cleon Stapleton Simmons she should resign from the party and try to hang up the phone. Tell Cleon.
So, partner calling and cussing. He can't call in on this program because I don't know his number. I'm not going to accept it. So he could message me and the link and cuss me too. But these are the reality. And he's speaking about when Cleon came, she was so loved. Maybe he did not realize, or she did not realize. She was loved because the people of the NRP welcome her. So she had this support. She had the support of the NRP. The people welcome her into the NRP. So they basically was there giving her the support as an NRP, not as an independent, like she wanted to do now. That is where the problem is, you know. Just the same, when I was introduced to the markup fella, at the time I was introduced to him as Mr. Brantley, Melvin Herbert, his partner, brought him to Van Cortlandt Park and introduced him to us and tell us that he's the next Premier of Nevis and he's going to be running for politics and he needed the support of the divisions and the Wally Club. I mean, but Kelvin Daly's brother, Denny, was a part of the Wally Club. He was there when Mark came to the park. Very good spin bowler and everything, and we accept Mark. He was well-spoken, young, vibrant, talking good things. So yes, I supported him as well, even though I could not vote in Nevis. I wasn't into Nevis politics. Vance Armory was my boy. We get along. But it didn't take me long to find out from Vance that Mark is giving him some problems. And it didn't take me long to find out, which we're going to discuss it shortly, how dangerous and lying Mark is. But I'm going to start with someone who's supposed to be a Mark supporter, you know. Mark knocked him both left, right, and center. And he come on my link weekly defending Mark. But yet when I hang up, when the program finished, he called me and wanted to have this long conversation about what Mark do to him and what Mark do to him. And I said, partner, if Mark do you all of these things, why you harassing the people in the thread? How could you support somebody that do you all these wrong things? The last thing he told me is some story about he went to some school and they put out the wrong information and his certificate is different to the date and he couldn't get a job and he reached out to Mark and Mark telling me lucky he get a good education and whatever. So he said he gonna send me the information because I didn't believe what he was saying. So he sent me the information. So I am going to play the clip for yourself because I asked him if it's okay to play. He told me yes. Unlike my boy Astro. You all remember Astro? My boy sent me a song there last year, told me to push it for him. Royal Bankruptcy. I push it week after week after week. Sunday the 12th of February, the man sent me a message saying he can't believe I knocked him about, so as a brother. Send me a message telling me as of today, January 12th. He was so upset he didn't even realize it's February already. He said, as of today, January 12th, don't play the song on your program no more. Causing too much problem down here. Anyway, listen to this clip. This is one of Mark's strong supporters.
There appears to be no resolution in sight for Nevision Ashbourne Liburd in an issue involving the Ministry of Education on Nevis and a certificate that leaves him in no man's land. The issue dates back years ago and centers around the Charlestown Junior School and what became the Charlestown Primary School, said to be established in 1992 following the commissioning of a new building. Those affected are former students of the Charlestown Junior School. Liburd explained that he was provided with a certificate of graduation in the name of the Charlestown Primary School, and this is where the problem starts. The current website of the Charlestown Primary School shows its establishment as 28 April 1992. Liburd claims that this is incorrect and the school was established prior to 1992. According to Liburd, students have certification indicating graduation from the Charlestown Primary School at least 2 classes before 1992, and there were other situations indicating that the school as Charlestown Primary was established before 1992. Ashburn tells his story.
I can remember when the name change took place from Charlestown Junior School to Charlestown Primary School, and it took place just after Hugo, 1990. I remember the teacher when she had just written the school song, which they use now, and it was originally written "Children of Charlestown Junior." And she left the class, went to a meeting, and she came back. When she came back to the from the meeting, she said, "That's the area a primary now. So wherever I see junior, sing primary." And she started to rub out all the word junior from the song and put primary. And we started to learn Children of Charlestown Primary. Now, for them to say that, basically, hey, you didn't go to this school, it's like an affront. It's an insult. All the years people have been knowing inter-primary competition. I challenge anybody to tell me if they ever heard of Charlestown Junior School competing in an inter-primary meet. I mean, I brought this to the attention of the guy who is the permanent secretary now. And he's telling me I should have come to them for a letter. And I'm saying that's foolishness, because if I need a letter to validate, if everybody needs a letter to validate a certificate given to them, then it don't make sense giving them a certificate. And I didn't really expect that she would have looked at that to say that school, but she did.
The real damage to this situation occurred when Liburd applied for employment in Canada. However, the human resource manager at the company could not understand why Liburd placed in his application that he was schooled at the Charlestown Primary School, which predates 1992. The issue became one of trust, and Liburd said he lost a job opportunity for which they said he was qualified. Liburd told SK Newsline he had coordinated a petition and had taken the matter as far as the Permanent Secretary of Education on Nevis, as well as to the Premier of Nevis.
I talked to a lot of my classmates, and I mean, I don't think that the issue has affected them personally as it has done me, because most of them have remained in Nevis. But all of them agreed with me, and they're saying yes. I mean, we were the first graduating class. Anything else said other than that is a lie. I've put together a petition, and the petition is signed by all the classmates that I could find, teachers, parents, even persons that were a little older than us going to school, but they were in the same, in the same school at the same time. Lots of them signed because they say, yes, this is indeed the truth. I don't know what else to do. I spoken to Vance Amri when he was there. I talked to Mark. I don't know who else to talk to.
SK Newsline broached the matter to the Premier of Nevis during his October press conference.
At the school, but he seems to be preoccupied with the date that the school was started. He did raise the matter with me. He has raised it, I believe, with everyone. But the truth is, Mr. Huey, we've been overcome with COVID. As Premier of Nevis, I'm trying to get jobs for people. I'm trying to deal with the health situation that we're struggling with. I'm trying to deal with all the challenges that we have. The date that the school was started doesn't, to my mind, fall into the category that COVID falls into in terms of addressing the types of issues that we're dealing with. So we have been overcome. I believe that the PS is here. He's aware of this issue, PS Daniel. If there is some rectification to be made, it will be made. And I've said to Mr. Liebert, you know, don't fret yourself over these matters, because in the scheme of things, what is important is that you've got a good education. What the name of the building was, or what year is put on the school as being started, I don't know if that's nearly as relevant as the fact that you got a good education. You know, so the preoccupation with what date the school was started has really fallen off the radar, because more important things, I perhaps should not put it like that. Let me say more pressing matters have come to the fore, like COVID, that we've had to deal with. It's no discourtesy to him. If there's something that needs to be addressed, we'll try to address it.
You see, the problem with the Markup fellow, Marco Polio, he lies so much that he don't even realize. He said he don't see the big deal in this matter. He like to speak about people in America. But anyone in America should know, if you're going to go look for a job anywhere in the diaspora around the world and they ask you for a certificate, they're going to do their investigation. They're going to do a background check. And if the information that you provide is incorrect, guess what? You're not get that job, you know. So the man is trying to tell you that he was affected because of this mix-up. And instead of you fixing the problem, you're cussing the man, you're telling the man at least he gets a good education. This is the kind of disrespect you have for people. Well, this evening, you know, Brother Marco Polo, I realize that you have someone that listens to my program regularly and report back to you. So since, according to you, you do not know who this mortal is, the mortal JefroyMorrishaw, aka DJ Morrishaw, I'm going to play your clip from your On the Mark on Wednesday. And I'm going to give you some dates of our communication on WhatsApp. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of things, because like I told you before, I got my receipts there, right? And if need be, they'll be produced. So I'm going to play your clip and I'm going to give you some reminder. So when the gentleman call you next week, he could give you a little more information that, yes, man, you're not the man. You understand? So let's get started. At least the gentleman knows his Bible, but I hope he understands that you need to read the same Bible, because this Bible is going to work against you all, you know. You got some people in St. Kitts used to spin Bible and the Bible spin back on them, you know. You keep up all your thing.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Is this the Honorable Cleon?
No, that's the wrong one. Wrong caller, JL. Wrong caller. This caller.
Good evening, Brother Mark. How are you?
Good evening to you. I'm well, thank you.
Okay, good. I want to mark with a scripture here quickly.
Sure.
For me to establish what I want to establish here. And the scripture is taken from Romans chapter 13, 1 and 2. And it says, let every soul be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God. And the authorities that exist are appointed by God. And now, Mark, the reason why I read this, because they got some fellas out there, they might play God, you know, and as if they're the ones who determine who win and who lose. And so I hope, because another listener, there's one they call some Morrishaw, keep mentioning your name, and he play clips from, you know, from On the Mark, and then, you know, you won't have him out. I mean, anyway, he's him out, he can say what he wants. But Mark, I want to tell you this. When the Bible says here, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. The authorities here speak to you, Mark, as the Premier of Nevis. The authorities here, Mark, speak to Dr. Ju as the Prime Minister of St. Kitts. So I want them to notice that you are being appointed by God. You can say appointed, you can say ordained or instituted by God. God put you there, Mark. And God put you there. And some time ago, I said to you, God determined who win the election. He's the one who determined that. And so when all them and they tax your house, you know, and you got to go, or you this, you that. God already determined, Mark, you're going to win the election. You're going to govern Nevis for the next 5 years. And he put you there. And so if they want to get vexed with people, tell them to say God. God used the people of Nevis to elect. Yes, CCM lose some votes, but that is beside the point. The point is God put you there to govern the country. You see, I mean, and the authorities that exist are appointed by God. God, Mark, I wanted to write them down. Romans 13:1. You have been appointed by God. And so I'm saying to you, Brother Mark, you govern the country for the next 5 years. And God is expected to do well. If he decides that next year somebody from Inapi going to win, he will decide that. And so, you know, let them, you know, jump up and say what they feel like. They can't touch you. Why? Because God put you there. I understand the language of this text here. Romans 13:1 and 2. Especially 1, I understand the language. Those authorities that exist, God appointed them. God bless you, Mark, and have a blessed night.
Thank you very much, and I certainly do appreciate it. And you mentioned one individual who you say is always calling my name. You would be surprised to know I have no relationship with this person. I have no clue who they are.
Okay, Brother Marco, my people show up for me to go shoot some pool, so I'm not going to be long with you. So since you do not know who I am, and you're going to continue to lie to the people, let me give you a little information. In 2016, during our communication when we had a good thing going, you sent me an email where I can reach you. And your email was, don't know if it still is, that's March of 2016. You sent me an email. And it's Mark, M-A-R-K .Brantley, B-R-A-N-T-L-E-Y @nia.gov.com. Mark.Brantley @nia.gov.com. That is the email you sent me, right? In 2016, April 12th again, we communicated. That's when things was good. I was giving you compliments. I didn't start paying attention to your lies them as yet. In 2017, May 15th again, WhatsApp message. I needed to reach out to you because of some things I had concern about. I reached out to you not only as I think the foreign minister, but someone with conscience who can help our people here in New York. I asked you for a number where I can reach you because the number I had, I wasn't getting you. You sent me 2 numbers. On May 15th, you send me a number, it says I can be reached at 869-662-2345. On May 16, 2017, 1 day later, you send me another number, say, call your WhatsApp on 869-662-6003. I communicate to you on these numbers in my phone. On March 13th, 2022, I sent you a message. And why I sent you that message? Your sister sent me a link of your speech at the UN that you made because the farmer could not attend. And I was so impressed with your speech. I sent you a message on March 13, 2022. I said, good evening, sir. I am impressed. I am in preparation. What? Your presentation was well received by me. I appreciate it very much. I will share these sentiments with my online viewership with this coming Wednesday, March 16. Wishing you and your team a safe journey back across to Nevis. As a matter of fact, that was not even the that message, but your response to me, that might have been an even different message. But this message came to you from me on March 13, 2022. It might have been either the UN message your sister sent me at the time or another speech that you made in St. Kitts. But the bottom line is, your response to me was truly grateful, my friend. Thank you. You appreciate my compliments to you, right? And 31st of March, 2022, I sent you a message. I said, I saw that you had a firecracker press conference earlier. I saw that you even had journalists brain freezing. I hope that you guys continue to hold Timothy accountable. Stay safe. That's when I thought you had the country at heart, and I thought you were doing the right thing by holding the farmer foot to the fire. But I realized you were playing games. You wanted your fair share. It wasn't about right and wrong for you. You continue to play games. You respond to me with your hands. You know them symbol you all have on the Facebook thanking me. Praise. On April 2nd, 2022, I sent you a message. I asked you, good morning. I said, good morning, sir. Is what I am hearing about Vance Emory true? And you told me yes. You replied. You said you just received information of his passing. You and I have been communicating for a while. On May 16, 2022, I respond to you. It was nice speaking with you. Thank you for giving me the permission to rebroadcast your program that you had Wednesday night. Your program that you had on Wednesday, May 11, 2022 on Van Radio, on the mark. I was impressed with your broadcast. I asked for permission to rebroadcast your broadcast. You said, bless. We spoke on the phone. You give me permission to do it. You congratulate me on the type of program I am running and tell me it's programs like these we need. You appreciate me. Now you don't know who the mortal is. On May 19th, 2022, I said, good morning, sir. I need to have a conversation with you. Can you give me a call, please? Or let me know when you are available or convenient to have this call. You respond to me and told me I can speak now. I called you. We had a very good conversation. When the phone hung up, prior to hanging up the phone, you give me the same compliments, thanking me for my service, and you appreciate the program I am running. You understand? One of the things I wanted to speak to you about is about help getting rid of the farmer hack, since we're on the same page now. You agreed to come on my program. In this clip, you're gonna go on to say, why would you go on my program and you have one? Well, partner, if you had no plans to come on my program, I have no beef with that. Just tell me you're not coming, but you continue to lie and say you're coming. Because on June 6th, I sent you a message again. I said, good night, sir. I called, but I didn't get you. My invitation to you to join me on my Facebook Live broadcast via Zoom is still open. Please let me know when you are available. Thanks. You respond to me. Thank you. And I will let you know. You continue to lie because based on what you were saying in this clip now, you had no intention of joining me. I had no beef with you if you didn't want to join me on my program, brother. No beef whatsoever. Just be honest. But it was very clear to me that you could not come on a program like this because the questions that I will ask, you would not be able to stand up to the questions because your lies, you're not going to get away with them. And I mean, the communication go on and on and on and on between you and I. I have no hate for your brother Mark. No hate whatsoever. It's just love every time, right? I'm going to let the clip finish. But I just want you to know, I said these things tonight that your partner, when he report to you on Wednesday, he could let you know that you know me very well. You know this matter very well. And when you talk about working and not working and this stuff, partner, I am 58 years of age. I put in 40 plus years as an electrician. I think I deserve some retirement. Eh? If you want to work for the rest of your life, you keep it up. My mother died at 52 in a prime. Didn't wake up out of her sleep back in 1992. My older brother died in 2015 at 51 after finishing work a full day. I spoke to him the night before. He worked a full day the next day. Never lived to see the next day after that. And July 3rd, 2015, exactly 4 months to the date, my brother Phantomus came down from Nevis to visit me in St. Kitts. Never get to see me. He ended up at JNF, passed away. 4 months apart. This is 2023. Nobody gonna stop me but God. And whether you like it or not, my community contribution is to say fast and hard and all them politicians in St. Kitts and Nevis. Every last one of you. The farmer Hag created this program when he locked us down for COVID, right? And God never, my grandmother always tell me a bad wind never blow. My cousin Catherine always tell me you're here for a purpose. So if you think I'm jealous of you or anything, bothering you for anything, no. I am saying to you, as the premier of Nevis, you are the premier for everyone. You are the premier for everyone. Stop cussing your citizens. Do your work. Be honest to the people. Be honest to the people of Nevis. I got to run early this evening because my boy Mike Lewis is here. We're going to go jam some pool. So I'm not going to run any more clips for the evening. What I'm going to do is go into my closing arguments, drop my unofficial national anthem, and I'm out of here. I'm going to enjoy myself with my Bajan brother, one of my former co-workers. He also retired, so we hang out on Friday evenings and enjoy, talk about the times we had working all those years on the job. So if you're not gonna have friends to talk to and you got to work for the rest of your life, you're lucky. I put in my time. My friends visit me when I have a little time. They come and they shoot some pool, play some domino, and my heart is good and everything is good. Brother Brantley, until next time, I'm coming back at you. Let me say good night to some of my folks before I run, because I really appreciate my online viewership that comes weekly to support and bring the information and do it thing. But for your people that is out there spreading false propaganda and our citizens, do not let politics divide us like that. Like the minister said today at the church, at the funeral, many of these politicians, they come and they give you nice, sweet words about what they can do for you. They go in there with nothing. In a couple months or a couple of years, they got all kind of bank account and vehicles and houses and whatever. And the poor people still struggling. That's why we got this kind of crimes taking place. And when it's time for re-elections, and they ain't do nothing. They come back and they lie to you a little more and give you all the reason why they didn't do the job. You see everybody using COVID, COVID finishing. But COVID is still the excuse for them to use for things is not done. Normally, when you do construction, the last thing you do to a property, whether it's a hospital or a home, when you paint your house, it's time for you to move in. When you paint your outside of your house, it's time to move in. The inside of that hospital ain't even plastered yet. No tiles done, no fixtures inside. The hospital cannot be used in 2020, cannot finish in 2023. But if you look on the outside, it's a big, nice, finished, painted building. But go on the inside. These are the things I'm going to talk to you about, Brother Brantley. And I have several more clips to play for you tonight. But like I said, my boy Mike is here, and I have to go hang out with my boy Mike. So good night, Albert Romney, JT Taylor. How are you guys doing? Brother Ashbourne Liburn, I hope you're all right. I'll play your clip for you. Brother Chilston Francis, how are you doing? It was nice seeing you today, my brother. Everything good with you? Delicious Nicholas Brown, how are you doing? Chantel Brooks, how are you doing? Giselle Skeet. Adele Timac McLaren, how are you doing? Everything good with you? Lynette Farrell, want to big up my boy there, Brother Austin Williams and his wife there, Brother Laura. Chef Jeffers, how are you doing? Good evening. Rhonda Brown, my sister there, Sister Cicely Brown, how are you doing, sis? Some of these names are killing me. JT Taylor, you all right? How about my girl there, Sister Hazel Claxton, Naomi Ward, Chantel Brooks, Sister Ballot, Pachina Ballot, how are you doing? How is the St. Martin area, the man Curtis Crook, the man Brother Ike, the big JL, Sister Marcella Liebard, Her Majesty there, Her Excellency, sorry, the Gigi, everything good? You know, when school start next Wednesday, you know, it's problem, you know, you come back, you know. Everson Harris, how are you doing, sir? Good evening. How about my boy there, Brother Thaddeus Deposwa, the King Ginger? Everything good with you? Brother Eustace Hendrickson, how are you doing? How is the weather there in the Texas area? Caitlin DeGuire, how are you doing? How is the business there? How is the weather over there in Canada? Margaret Taylor, how about Jeff Pemberton? Sister Janice Daniel Hodge, how are you doing? The man Jeff Pemberton, Sister Bartlett, how are you doing? Patricia Bartlett, J.D. Keynes, Brother Slack, Mikey Slack, Sister Moffett Slack, how are you doing? Wanda Brown, good evening, how are you doing? Monica Brown, boy, this thing busy. Chantel Brooks, want to big up all you folks there. The man there, Brother Carbo, how you doing? Everything good. We're not going to drop this track here, the unofficial national anthem, and I'll be out of here. Like I said, my boy Mike is here standing by to drop some blues. Remember, you guys can send stars now, you know, so you could press your stars. I want to big up Sister Gwyneth Morrishaw, Beverly Morrishaw, how you doing? Sister Ann Farrell Smith, Sister Chloe Bennett, Tracy Jeffers, how are you doing? How about Tracy Powell? My baby girl, as she was calling me earlier, but I couldn't answer the phone while I am on live, so I'll call you back and see how you're doing. My son there, Jeffroy Jr. in the LA area. Sister Jazette, my sister Esther Hutchinson there in the St. Thomas area. I mean, Tatola, sorry, Marquisha and the kids. The man, brother called Marius, how are you doing, my brother? Sister Valicia Marius, Patsy Brown, the man Avon Brown, Ma Ralph. Cousin there, Ken Bonnier, how you doing, Pamela Bonnier? My favorite cousin there in the Virgin Islands, Sister Natalie Carty, Mem, how you doing? Sister Carolina. Catherine Morris, the man Twinkie, Craig, how you guys doing? The Mull, everybody good, brother Bevis Hutchinson. 3 o'clock, want to big up the folks there over there at the Stanley's Elder Care in Sadlers as well. Boy, Kansas Edwards and crew over there. The man Ebby, want to big up Sister Stacy and Casilla. The man Otis, Barbara, how are you doing? Juliet Connor, how are you doing? Bridget Connor, the man Romeo Paris, Vera Connor, my brother there, Gene, how are we doing? The man Brown, the mechanic, and brother Ivan. Stand by for the King Arrow. Arise. Want to big up Uncle Emmanuel there, Joseph Emmanuel at the Garvey's estate, Gloria Hutchinson there at the Smart Fit. Good night. How are you guys?
nation, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, man, that's the sound of the late great King Arrow. Arise, citizens, the country is yours, all yours. In the meantime and between time, until such time as we meet next Wednesday, don't forget our Honorable Prime Minister should be joining us next week. And also, for those of you who may be interested in going down to Sweet Sugar City St. Kitts with us to celebrate some cricket matches, some fun, and enjoy the 25th anniversary of the music festival. We'll be traveling from June 17th to July 1st, 2023. There are only 4 tickets leave. So if you know you want to join the bandwagons, feel free to reach out to me. The tickets are very reasonable at this time. I know you cannot get any ticket at the price that we have at the moment. At this time, the price when I checked last, is double what we paid, what we have on hold. So feel free to reach out to me and let me know if you want to join us. That's June 17th to July 1st. Good night, Brother Carbo. I hope you had a good business day today. Look forward to talking to you soon. In the meantime and between time, God blessings on everyone. Have a safe weekend.